Welcome, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the SCSRA Maze Construction Truck Series here on iRacing. We're getting ready for 45 laps around Watkins Glen International Raceway. Blake Hensley currently at the top of the board behind Clint Stone and Devin Bucciano as we see these drivers making their way around this tricky Watkins Glen Speedway. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. See, Cody Moore, who is not in this race here tonight, currently up in the points lead. Devin Bucciano sits in second. He is without a win in this series. Third is Clint Stone, Blake Hensley, and Will Witt, your top five. Eddie Morris, Joe Wright, Brett Merle, Kyle Mays, Todd Mays, Jake McCarty, and Brian Merle Jr. are your top 12. And drivers locked in with a win. You see Cody Moore, Clint Stone, Blake Hensley, Will Witt, and Eddie Morris, all locked in to the chase, which starts in just a couple weeks. Next week is New Hampshire, and that will be the last race before the chase. Then our chase will be Dega, Richmond, Kansas, Auto Club, and the final race at Chicagoland. Of course, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We do appreciate you joining us here on your Tuesday night. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know whenever we go live. Also, don't forget to check out our web store at intensitybroadcasting.com, as well as our affiliates down below at Race EPI for setups and coaching, as well as our great partner, Butt Kicker. Of course, Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one is right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, they make more than just gaming haptics as well. You can find the entire line of Butt Kicker products, including the transducers that help you feel your movies and music as well. So check that out at the link below, thebuttkicker.com. Looks like we've got about 15 seconds left here in practice before we get qualifying underway. See Clint Stone currently second on the board. Oh, loops it off the carousel and hard into the inside wall as practice is concluding. Of course, this is our second race of our truck doubleheader here on Tuesday. If you missed it, we did have the Doghouse Racing League Shoney's Truck Series that just finished up 96 laps at Richmond, caution free. That was a great race, a lot of excitement, and it was dedicated to a good cause. So check that out. The Doghouse Racing League race, if you're looking for something to watch later on. Here we go. Qualifying is underway. David Hartney, one of the first trucks to leave pit road. Devin Bucciano, this is a home track for him. The Plattsburgh, New York native. Also, Brian Merle Jr., another Neon driver on track. Michael Provolt just making his way off of pit road. So, a bunch of drivers out there getting ready to qualify. See the layout of the track as Provolt here is approaching what we call the bus stop. The little chicane on the backstretch. And you come to the carousel, which is downhill. A lot of elevation change here at Watkins Glen. Highly banked, long, slow corner, downhill to the short chute, coming down to turns 10 and 11. Now we don't count the boot here, so the track has the numbering of the corners may not make sense to you. We see Dave Hartney come off of turn number 1. Ooh, gets loose, almost loops it there as he comes up through the S's. Take a look at Butchino making his way up down the backstretch and to the bus stop. Heavy on the braking. You see the wheel hop. So he uses all of that curbing to try to get that truck around the track. Down to turn 5, the carousel. And yes, we go immediately from turn 5 the turn 10. Oh, big wheel hop out of the 68 of Butchino. He's really trying to get everything out of that truck he can. Really hustling around the track here as he makes his way off of turn number 11 and down to the start-finish line. And he will be the first truck to put a time on the board. Down into turn 1, using as much curbing as he can. Down the short chute, up through the S's. And through the S's here, you want to avoid using the curbing as it can really upset that truck. Some of the corners are a little bit off camber as it comes down the backstretch towards the bus stop yet again. Again, a lot of curbing, trying to hustle that truck through the bus stop. Down off the carousel. And through the chute, down to turn number 10. Really hustling that truck. A lot of wheel spin out of that 68 as he comes off a turn number 11 and down to the start-finish line. And Butchino is going to run a 1:13.31. See, Blake Hensley just took the green flag as he's making his way up through the S's. Down the backstretch and towards the bus stop. Another driver using a lot of curbing here to get through the bus stop, and that can really help the truck. Certain parts of the track you want to use the curbing, other parts of the track you want to stay away from it. You want to take as much of this curb as you can coming onto the back chute towards turn number 10. As well as here through turn 10 and 11, you want to use this curbing on your exit. You don't want to go too far over, as it will cost you incident points. And you want to use all this curbing off of turn number 11 to keep as much speed up as you come down this front stretch and down into turn number 1. Turn 1, heavy braking downhill. Using that curbing on the exit of the corner to keep your momentum up. See, Hensley used just a little bit of the curbing through the corner there to get that truck turning. And using a ton of curbing to get through the bus stop there. And it used to be there wasn't that much curbing there in the bus stop, but recently iRacing rescanned Watkins Glen to the standards that it is today, and there was so much curbing there through that bus stop that you're going to see those drivers almost seems like they're cheating and cutting the corner as they make their way through the bus stop. Down to the start-finish line, and Blake Hensley is only going to go P3. Clint Stone only took one lap And he's currently sitting on pole. We see Will Witt coming off of turn 5, down the chute towards turn number 10. Fortunately for Will, Brian Nudi's not in the race tonight to take him out, so he should have himself a clean race off of turn number 11, down to the stripe. And Will is actually going to run the exact same time on a second lap, and he's going to stay in the 4th position. See Derek Chaput coming down to the start-finish line. And Chaput is going to go P6. Jake McCarty is currently back in the 9th position. And there's 4 drivers not able to set a time. That is Eddie Morris, Zachary Cox, Todd Mays, and Kyle Mays. As we have about 2 minutes left before we grid them up and go green flag racing. Of course, once again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. Do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe, so you know anytime that Intensity Broadcasting goes live here on iRacing. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night for the SCSRA Dev Sports Card Xfinity Series as they take on Daytona International Speedway, but at the road course. You'll see these drivers turning left and right 2 nights in a row, not just here in the trucks, but tomorrow night in the Xfinity Series as well. So tune in. Atlee Atman-Weiss will have the call for that one. You're not going to want to miss that. Also, don't forget to check out our web store at intensitybroadcasting.com for merchandise, hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, not just of Intensity gear, but your favorite leagues, as well as some of our great novelty t-shirts and more, as we just introduced our first pair of boxers onto the Intensity store. Mark Shaver says, "What's up?" Good to see you, Mark. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Wish you were out on track, but good to see you in the YouTube chat. And yes, you heard that right. We have our first pair of underwear on the Intensity store. Not to compete with the MeUndies that Colin Willems wears, but definitely something different out there. So check out our web store, link down below at intensitybroadcasting.com. So we have 10 seconds before we get the field gridded up and ready to go here. See drivers still out there getting a couple extra practice laps in that don't count. And we'll take a look at our starting grid here tonight. And on pole is the 99 of Clint Stone. Devin Buccino will roll off from P2. Blake Hensley will roll off from the 3rd position with Will Witt in 4th. Row 3 will find David Hartney and Derek Chaput, followed by Michael Provolt and Brian Merle Jr. Jake McCartney and Brett Merle will round out your top 10, followed by the 6th row of Kyle Mays and Eddie Morris. And rounding out the field will be Todd Mays and Zachary Cox. So 14 drivers getting set for 45 laps around this road course here in Watkins Glen, New York. And if you ever get the chance to visit Watkins Glen for a race, I highly recommend it. It is a wild race. I know they say Talladega is wild, but I would consider Watkins Glen to be the Talladega of the Northeast. Of course, Watkins Glen is where the infamous Octagon Racing came from. Eddie Morris running a special paint job to celebrate. The birthplace of Octagon camping, established 2021 at Watkins Glen. And Michael Lawrence says he has no power, so that's why he's not in the race, unfortunately. For him, sucks, Michael, that you weren't able to join the race here tonight. Enjoy the broadcast, though. As the field is rolling. This is the short chute the field is starting from here, so we'll see a very short pace lap here as they make their way through turns 10 and 11. Pace car immediately going to take that hard right-hand turn on the pit road. That's right, pit road is on the right side of this track, so it's going to make a little different pit entrance for these drivers as well as the field comes off of turn number 11. Clint Stone leads them down to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Watkins Glen as the field rockets down into turn number 1 for the first time. Blake Hensley trying to outbreak Devin Butchino down into turn number 1. He's going to take over that second position. Will Witt now taking a look down to the inside as they come up through the S's for the first time. Up through the S's double file. A little further back. Everybody's able to get through there clean as the field makes their way up to the backstretch for the first time. Down into the bus stop, Clint Stone leads the field. Everybody's able to get through there cleanly down into the carousel. Blake Hensley trying to run down that 99 machine as they come through the carousel for the first time. Down towards the final turns 10 and 11. And Clint Stone is going to lead the first lap here at Watkins Glen as Blake Hensley is trying to run down that 99 machine. And Will Witt currently back in third, gapping the 68 of Devin Butchino. Now we do know that the tires are going to be a huge part of this race as we see Blake Hensley trying to look down to the inside of Clint Stone, but just not able to do it as it comes up through the S's. The S's are not a place to pass, but it's a place where you can definitely set up a pass into the bus stop. The bus stop is probably one of the best passing zones on the track as Will Witt is going to try to outbreak Hensley down into the bus stop. No, he's going to tuck back in line. And to me, the best 3 places to pass are right there through the bus stop. Down into turn number 1. And the final 2 corners, you can make some good passes there as well. Will Witt now sliding back a little bit. Clint Stone just went fastest overall with a 1:13.56 race pace. So that 99 machine is currently flying. Brian Merle Jr. trying to make a move. Jr. had his teammate Jake McCartney right there on the back bumper as they get spread out coming up through the S's. See these drivers really throwing a lot of curb down through the bus stop as Will Witt continues to lead over Devin Butchino in that 3rd position. You see these drivers using a lot of curbing there off of turn number 5. You can do that. There's no penalty for running over the curb there. Now through turns 1 and turn 10 here, if you go over that curb too much, you can get a time penalty for that, but off of turn number 5 after the carousel, you can use as much of that track as you want. Dave Hartney trying to run down Devin Butchno and Will Wiz. You hear him kind of half throttle there through the S's. Up to the bus stop, up to 4th gear here. Hear him stay in 3rd gear all the way through the bus stop there. So we heard a couple drivers talking about staying in 3rd gear all the way through the bus stop there. We'll ride along with Clint Stone here, see what he does as he comes down into turns 10 and 11. Down to 3rd gear. He's going to stay in 3rd gear all the way through turn 11, down the front stretch. Going to catch 4th gear. Down to 3rd. Up to 4th early, and usually we don't see people catching 4th gear till the middle of the S's, but he's catching it right at the bottom of the S's as he comes up down the backstretch. I'll see if he catches 2nd gear through the bus stop here, if he stays up in 3rd. He's going to stay in 3rd all the way through the bus stop as well. Ooh, slips up a little bit through the... Oh, that's going to allow Blake Hensley to take that position away. So let's take a look at the pass again as we see Blake Hensley diving down to the inside as Clint Stone pushed up a little bit. So that's going to put Hensley up in the lead as they come down to the stripe to start lap number 5. Dave Hartney running down Will Witt, trying to take over that 4th position. Now you see the damage to the the left side of Hartney's machine as he's been up into one of the fences. Doesn't look like it's slowing down that truck too much as he's able to continue on. And seeing that it's on the left side of the truck makes me think that he probably got it coming off of turn number 11 down to the straightaway. But right now we see the field pretty much stretching out right now as our leader Blake Hensley makes his way off of turn number 11. And our final car is just making his way through the carousel right now. So nice thing about Watkins Glen, it's a long track. It takes a lot to go a lap down here. As Blake Hensley's now stretched out his lead to just about a second over 2nd place Clint Stone. And already we see Brent Merle making his way down on the pit road. You see the field making their way through the bus stop. Clint's trying to run down this 88 machine, but just not able to as they come off of turn number 11. Ooh, look at Butchino sideways. And David Hartney was sideways off the corner as well. As Hartney's made his way around Will Witt. Let's take a look at that pass down into turns 11 and 12. Hartney making the move on the outside, which gives him the opportunity to have the inside line off of turn number 11, and that's how he got around Will Witt to move him up into the 4th position. Will, though, not going away without a fight. Will trying to get that position back, but just not close enough to make that happen just yet. But a lot of racing to go as we are still working lap number 8 of 45. So far, so clean. A lot of drivers able to stay on track. We haven't seen any off tracks or incidents yet. Eddie Morris all over the back bumper of Michael Provolt. He's trying to take that 7th position away. Eddie from Tennessee took the trip in 2021 up to Watkins Glen, and he's seen this track firsthand, so he knows all the nuances as he takes a look down to the inside of Michael Provolt into the bus stop, and Provy's going to have to cede that position. And Zachary Cox having some issues down in turn number 1. We see a little bit of wheel hop down into turn number 1. Catches the inside barrier just a little bit. And that's really easy to do here. Wheel hop, if you're new and you're not familiar with racing too much, wheel hop is when you step on the brakes and the back tires start to lock up just a little bit, and the wheels do exactly that. They hop and skip across the pavement. And without the traction, it's hard to get the truck slowed down. And as always, locked wheels want to lead. And it's really hard once the truck starts skipping like that to avoid actually spinning out. So Dave Hartney is now pulling away from 4th place Will Witt. He's trying to run down Devin Butchino. Devin Butchino, though, running down Clint Stone. The interval between Butchino and Stone is now down to a second. As the field continues to stretch out. So Butchino trying to run down Clint Stone. He's cut the interval down to 0.9 of a second as Zachary Cox has some more issues here. We see him Just ran a little wide there off of the final turns. Really easy to do. Again, the track limits here are pretty relaxed. Only off of turn number 1 and turn 10 do you really get penalized for going over that curbing. Off the carousel, though, you can use as much of that track as you want. As Todd Mays also has an off-track excursion. I think it's the same corner. Runs it way wide. We see Zachary Cox getting off into the grass off of turn number 11. So Cox struggling right now with that with the handling of that truck, as David Hartney's now cut down that lead to half a second. Or not the lead, but the interval between him and Devin Buccino to half a second. Even with the damage on the left side of that truck, he's continuing to move forward. As the field continues to stretch out. Jake McCartney having some issues here as he makes his, loops it into the inside barrier between turns 10 and 11. And it looks like he's going to have that thing stuck in the Armco barrier, so he's going to have to reset. So a tough break for the driver of the 10 Neon machine, as he's going to have to reset his truck and try to get back out there to save some positions if he can. Looks like Brett Merle has retired from the race after just 5 laps. And we see Hartney now within 0.3 of a second. He's been running down Devin Buccino. Buccino might be saving tires a little bit as Hartney's looking to the outside as they go side by side up through the S's. Not normally a passing zone, but Hartney moves himself up into third. And here comes Will Witt as well, right up on the back bumper of Devin Buccino as they make their way down to the bus stop. You see Will really using all the track there off of the carousel to try to gain some time on the 68 of Devin Buccino. Butch might be just trying to save a little bit of tire, save a little bit of fuel. These drivers will have to stop at least once. I think Buccino's trying to make it just a one-stop race, or some of the other drivers may have to stop twice to top off. So we're a third of the way through the race, and Will Witt right on the back bumper of Devin Buccino as they make their way through the bus stop. We'll ride along here off the back bumper of Buccino. And you hear just how soft he is on the throttle, just not able to get the power down, trying to save those tires. While that's been going on, we had an issue on track. Looks like Michael Provolt having some issues here down into turn number 1. Now we see that wheel hop as he loops it around right in front of Brian Merle Jr. Able to keep it rolling and not lose too much time. Oh, Dave Hartney having some issues. He's missed the bus stop. That's going to allow Butchino right on back by. As he's got to give up a little bit of time for cutting the track. That's going to allow Will Witt around as well. As we take a look to see exactly what happened to Hartney here is... Oh, caught the wall going into the corner. So heavy damage now to the left and right side of that truck. An unforced error moves Hartney from 3rd back to 5th. Up front, Blake Hensley continues to lead over Clint Stone as he's pulling away to almost a 4-second gap. Great views around the track. As we look at Derek Chaput running back in the 6th position. 15 seconds behind Hartney. Up on Eddie Morris by 4.5 seconds as he's cruising around in that, well, he's driving Cody Moore's truck. Cody not in the race tonight, so he is, as Chaput piloting that truck. As we see Blake Hensley running down Michael Provolt to put him a lap down. See Hensley. Hensley's one of the few drivers dropping down into 2nd gear. Up to 4th. Gonna drop down to 3rd gear. All the way down to 2nd for turn number 11. Back up to 3rd as he dropped down back down to 2nd. He does drop back down to 2nd to get down into turn number 11. All the way up to turn 4th gear. Braking heavily down into 2nd gear for turn number 1. Up into 3rd. He's going to catch 4th gear up towards the top of the S's here. And then drop it down to 2nd gear to make his way through the bus stop. Right along with Clint Stone, we see Clint staying in 3rd gear all the way through the bus stop. So a couple different styles out on track to get around. David Hartney trying to run Will Witt back down. To try to retake that 4th position away. So Michael Provolt's been down on pit road on lap number 16. So about 4 laps ago, and he just ran his fastest lap of the race with a 1:14.96, which is just a little bit off our leader's pace. Last time by, Blake Hensley ran a 1:14.60. Hensley also has the fastest lap of the race with a 1:13.34. Well, Devin Butchino has been running down Clint Stone. Last time by, Clint ran a 1:15 and Butchino ran a 1:14.8. So slowly, Butchino's been eating into that lead ever so slightly, lap after lap. That time by, Stone was a bit faster than Butchino. That gives you a look at the top three. Just how much faster Blake Hensley has been able to get around this track compared to Clint Stone and Devin Butchino. Hartney slowly starting to reel in the 35 of Will Witt. Of course, green flag pit stop should be starting now. As I say it, here comes Blake Hensley down onto pit road. Clint Stone's going to stay out, along with Devin Butchino's going to stay out here. So your leader making his way down on the pit road. Again, running that down into second gear is going to burn more fuel than Clint Stone and Devin Butchino, who are staying in third. At the bottom of the screen, you see the time on pit road. When it's flashing pit, that means they're on their way to their pit stall. When it's solid like it is now, it means they're in their pit stall. Once you see a time, that'll be how long their pit stop was. So is Clint Stone and Devin Butchino going to try to make it to halfway just to make it a one-stop race? Or are they going to have to come down pit road? Clint Stone is going to hit pit road this time. Devin Butchino is going to stay out. Will Witt on to pit road along with Dave Hartney. Of course, Mark Shaver saying, let's go Clint and the Maze Mafia. I see Derek Chapu. Also making his way down on the pit road. Eddie Morris hits pit road. So the whole field, I think, going to be pitting this time by. Kyle May is up 4 spots, currently running in the 7th position. Looks like he's coming to pit road here as well. No, he stays out. Brian Merle Jr. hits pit road. Todd Mays stays out. Zachary Cox is going to come down onto pit road. We see Blake Hensley making his way by. So Devin Butchino continues to lead. See if he comes down pit road this time. And he will. And that's going to give the lead back to Clint Stone. And Blake Hensley currently running back in the 7th position. He had a 45-second hold for too fast on pit road. That's why we see him way back in the 7th position. And with 22 laps to go and no yellow flags here on road courses, he's got his work cut out for him. So a tough break for Blake Hensley in that 88 machine. Currently runs in the 5th position. 33 seconds behind our leader. So Devin Bucciano now coming off of turn number 10. Currently 4 seconds behind our leader, Clint Stone. Does he have enough in the tank to run down Clint Stone? And I don't mean enough in the tank gas-wise. I mean, does he have the power to get himself up to Clint Stone to try to make the pass? Will Witt runs back in 3rd. He is 5 seconds behind Bucciano. And then Dave Hartney, who's gotten his truck fixed. Looks like he's taken his reset, currently up in the 4th position. No, he didn't get his truck fixed. He still has that damage to the side of that truck. And Blake Hensley with a flyer of a lap. Last time by, just ran a 1:13.263. That lap highlighted in pink, showing that that was the fastest lap of the race. Michael Provolt, Eddie Morris, Derek Chaput all battling for position here. This is for 6th, 7th, and 8th. You know, Provolt was down on pit road on lap 16. He will have to come down pit road one more time for fuel. Eddie Morris on almost 10 lap fresher tires should be able to dispatch the 95 of Provolt pretty easily down into turn number 1 here, as we have just 20 laps to go. Devin Bucciano with the fastest lap of the race now. Just ran a 1:13.252. Oh, in trouble for our leader, Clint Stone. Says he had an off-track penalty as he got off into the grass. And now Devin Bucciano is within a half a second. He's within striking distance. As you see Bucciano right there on the back bumper, trying to run down that 99 machine. Eddie Morris taking a look down to the inside of Michael Provolt. Provolt's going to have the inside line down into turn number 11. Eddie should be able to, with those fresh tires, move around that 95. As they are side by side down the front stretch, but Eddie's going to have the advantage as they make their way down to turn number 1. So move Eddie Morris up into the 7th position as he starts to try to chase down the 37 of Derek Chaput. Back up front, Devin Bucciano trying to run down Clint Stone. As Clint Stone runs wide yet again. And Butchino is going to go right around. So move Devin Butchino up into the lead at his home track. Now, can he put 18 more laps together to get the win here tonight, or is somebody else going to come and take it away from Butchino as Blake Hensley now runs back in the 5th position? "26 seconds behind our leader as he's doing everything he can to try to run back down and catch up. Down through the bus stop. Butchino starting to put some time between him and Clint Stone. I wonder if Clint just looked down at his fuel gauge to see how close he's going to be and if he backed off to try to save a little bit of fuel. As Devin works around the lap truck of Uncle Todd Mays. Mays going to give his teammate Clint Stone plenty of room down into turn number 1. Eddie Moore is starting to run down the 37 of Derek Chaput. Morris within half a second as they come down into turns 10 and 11. And Morris trying to outbrake Chaput down into turn 1, but Chaput able to use that higher lane to keep the momentum as they come down the short chute towards the S's. The S's essentially turns 3 and 4 as they make their way down the backstretch and into the bus stop, which is technically not a numbered turn. It's just known as the bus stop. Down into turn number 5. Again, because the trucks here do not run the boot. If you were to run the boot, you would have went straight there to turns 6, 7, 8, and 9. Instead, we go straight to turn number 10. And the final turn, turn 11. Morris trying to run down Chaput as we see Michael Provolt make his way down onto pit road in the background. We're seeing Morris really being able to hook the curbing to get that truck to rotate a little bit better than Chaput is right now, but Chaput able to stay out in front of Eddie as they make their way down towards the bus stop. Now Morris is going to outbrake Chaput down into the bus stop, and he's going to take that position away. So move Eddie Morris up into the 6th position. As Devin Butchino continues to lead, he's running up on his Neon Racing teammate. I believe that's Brian Merle Jr. who's going to stay off to the side. Yep, that was Jr. who let his teammate and team owner right on through. As we have less than 15 laps to go. Jake McCartney now making his way down onto pit road. Will we see the rest of these drivers making their way down onto pit road? Or are they going to be able to make it to the end without stopping? Derek Chapu able to keep right there with Eddie Morris. Down into turn number 1. So far, a very clean race through the field. Most of these drivers able to keep it on track. We did see a couple small incidents involving Brett Merle and Jake McCartney, along with Zachary Cox having a couple spins. But so far, with 13 laps to go, pretty clean race. As Devin Butchino has now stretched his lead to 2.7 seconds. Zachary Cox now making his way down on the pit road. Of course, tomorrow night, the Xfinity Series is going to have a much trickier track to run at as they run at the Daytona Road Course in the Xfinity Series. So tune in tomorrow night for that one. That's going to be exciting for sure. As these drivers continue to turn left and right. Coming down to the end of the season next week, the Truck Series will end their season, the regular season, at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, my home track. While the Xfinity Series next week will be taking on Auto Club Speedway. So left for the Truck Series, we have New Hampshire next week. Then we go Talladega, Richmond, Kansas, Auto Club, Chicagoland. In the Xfinity Series, we end next week at Auto Club. Then we go Bristol, Kansas, Charlotte, Dega, and Michigan. Oh, issues for Zachary Cox. Just made his way off of pit road and on cold tires, making his way to the bus stop. And looks like he just overdrove the entry into the bus stop, has to stop, and he's going to reset. And Zachary Cox is going to retire from the race, leaving just 10 trucks left on track. Devin Butchino continues to lead Clint Stone by 2.2 seconds as we are coming to 11 laps to go. Still wondering how much fuel is left in the tank. Blake Hensley running back in 5th place, and he is running down 4th place David Hartney. Unfortunately, once he gets around Hartney, it's going to be another 12 seconds to Will Witt. So Blake, with a speeding penalty, when he came down on the pit road on lap 21, set him back 45 seconds. He's trying to make up most of that time. Currently running in the 5th position. He's been putting down some fast laps. Unfortunately, while putting down the fast laps, he's been burning a ton of fuel. So is he going to have enough fuel to make it to the end? Does anybody have enough fuel to make it to the end? Devin Butchino down through the short chute towards turn number 10 and 11. Ooh, getting sideways through the short chute to turn 11. And as he crossed the line this time, we're going to have just 10 laps to go. So the running order looks like this. Devin Butchino is 2.5 seconds back to 2nd place, Clint Stone. Stone was your pole sitter, currently running back at 2nd. Will Witt in the 35 machine without Brian Canuti here to wreck him, running in the third position. And you'll find David Hartney in the 43, currently in fourth, but you see Blake Hensley on the same straightaway as him now, trying to run him down in that fifth position. Eddie Morris runs in sixth, just in front of the 37 of Derek Chaput, who's running the 52 of Cody Moore's car. Kyle Mays runs back in the eighth position. He is all by himself. That's 24 seconds back to ninth place Brian Merle Jr. and 10th place Michael Provolt. Todd Mays runs in 11th. Jake McCartney, who is 2 laps down, back in 12th. And then Zachary Cox and Brett Merle have both retired from the race. So as Devin Butchno comes down the short chute towards turn number 10, we're going to have just 8 laps to settle it here. Clint Stone currently 2.5 seconds back. And Blake Hensley still just over 4 seconds behind fourth place David Hartney. So is he going to have enough time to run down the 43 to take over the fourth position and try to salvage a good finish after the mistake on pit road? Will Witt currently almost 10 seconds in front of fourth place David Hartney, and you see the 88 of Blake Hensley slowly creeping closer to that 43 machine as Devin Butchno makes his way through the bus stop and down to the carousel. Michael Provolt and Brian Merle Jr. in a bit of a battle here, going down into turn number 10. Provolt was just on pit road, so he's got a little bit fresher tires than Jr. right now. Probably use those fresh tires to get around Brian Merle Jr. and up into the 9th position. It's like Junior starting to pull back away from the 95 of Michael Provolt. Good view off the back of Brian Merle Jr.'s truck as you hear him working the throttle through the carousel and to the short chute down to turn number 10. They're coming up on Will Witt. Of course, Will is a lap ahead of these two drivers. Butchino just crossed the line. We have 6 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. Blake Hensley within a second now of 4th place David Hartney. Last time by, Blake was actually about 2 seconds faster that lap than Hartney. You know, Hartney still has a lot of damage on that truck. He did not take his reset on that pit stop. So how much are the aerodynamics of that truck hurting him? You see him really jumping those curbs, trying to keep the 88 behind him. Ooh, Blake gets real loose there on the curbing. Oh, gets loose again off of turn. The number 11, that allows Hartney to pull away. Right along with Blake here. You see him really working that wheel, really loose inside that truck, trying to do everything he can to try to run down that 43, and it looks like he's swatting flies in that machine. It's not like Hensley might have just caught that Armco barrier just a little bit. They work to the inside of Jake McCarty. You saw just how loose Blake was through these corners last time. Now he's down into turn at number 11. And you see again, having to counter steer off the corner just to keep that truck going straight. And he is 0.3 of a second behind the 43 down into turn at number 1. And man, just see how loose both those trucks are down into turn at number 1. Both drivers fighting right now to stay within pace of each other. Hartney's going to throw a bit of a block down into the bus stop. Oh, and there's contact between these two drivers, and they make contact. Hartney goes spinning down into the inside wall. Blake Hensley is going to take that position. Hartney gets it backed up and re-going, but man, what a not really sure now we take a look at it here. They're already side by side, so you see Hartney blocking down to the inside, but giving Blake plenty of room down the straightaway. I think Blake may have hit the grass a little bit. He comes down into the 43, and the two of them go spinning down through the infield. But with 3 laps to go, Devin Butchino now continues to lead Clint Stone by over 5 seconds now. Stone has damage to the left side of that truck, so I think he might have been up into the wall. Probably off of turn 11. We've seen that a couple times here. Trying to get everything off the corner here and just barely catching the wall. As Butchino now takes 2 to go. down into the bus stop. Devin Butchino just has to put together another lap and a half to get the win here at his home track. Down to turns 10 and 11. We know Clint Stone has his teammate Kyle Mays just in front of him, so if it comes down to it, we know Mays will probably let him by without issue as Devin Butchino comes off turn number 11 and down to the white flag. 1 lap to go. Butchino just has to put together 7 good turns. Up through the S's for the final time. With a 6-second lead. Basically going to drive this lap on cruise control. Conservative through the S's, as you don't want to lose control and throw the race away, as he runs that line perfectly and down through the carousel. Down through turns 10 and 11 for the final time. And Devin Butchino is going to come across the line. Devin Butchino is going to win here at Watkins Glen. Home track victory for the Plattsburgh, New York native, as he's already starting his celebration down the front stretch. Clint Stone brings it home P2. Will Witt making his way off the carousel now. Looks like Will's trying to save a little bit of fuel here as he's making his way through turns 10 and 11 for the final time. And Will Witt is going to crawl across the line to bring it home P3. David Hartney comes across the line in 4th. And Blake Hensley had to come down pit road and take fuel. He's going to come home in the 5th position. But Devin Butchino gets the win here tonight as he makes his way around the track for his victory lap. He's going to come down onto the front stretch and celebrate his win. Bailey Cross says, "Let's go, Devin Butchino. No one can intentionally wreck you with 25 seconds behind. Let's go." Let's see if we can get a little view of Butchino running down the, burning it down here. So he's going to bring it to a stop here at the start-finish line. Now let's take a look at our final results. Again, Devin Butchino gets the win. Clint Stone comes home 2nd. Will Witt in 3rd. David Hartney and Blake Hensley, your top 5. Derek Chaput passes Eddie Morris on the final lap to come home in 6th. Eddie Morris 7th. Kyle Mays, Michael Provolt, and Brian Merrill Jr. round out your top 10. Todd Mays comes home 11th. Jake McCartney in 12th. Zachary Cox and Brett Merrill round out the rest of the field as we get ready to talk to our top 3. Starting with our 3rd place finisher, Will Witt. Actually, it looks like Will is still up there in his room, so we'll give him just a moment more. While you've got a second, we want to thank everybody for joining us here. Don't forget to check out our great affiliates in the description down below. Of course, let's not forget about our great partner, the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing and gaming haptic hardware that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one is right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. And not just do they have gaming haptics, but you can also find haptics that make your movie and music experience more enjoyable as well. So check out the link below in the description at thebuttkicker.com. So as we get ready to interview our top three, just waiting for Will Witt to make his way down into the waiting room. There we go. We'll talk with our third place finisher, Will Witt. Will, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Loud and clear.
Man, a great run here tonight, bringing it home P3. Kind of coming to road course racing, kind of coming to you as of late. What was the secret to getting around this track here tonight, getting yourself a third place finish here?
Tonight it was actually just kind of smooth and steady. I got lucky there at the end. Being able to save enough fuel, I crossed the line with 0.15 gallons of fuel left, so it was cutting it close to that fuel. So I kind of got lucky with that. But yeah, early on it was just being smooth and not making any big mistakes. That's always kind of been my thing here.
For sure, a lot of people would say that here at Watkins Glen, slow is fast. And coming down to the line, we saw you coasting there on fuel. We were wondering if you were going to be able to make it there. You pit a little bit earlier than some of the other drivers. We saw Blake had to come down and top off on pit road, so did Eddie there. So what were you doing to save fuel? Were you just short shifting or driving around there in fourth gear the last few laps?
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be close. I didn't think it was going to be that close, though. So basically, the last lap, I'd say last 3 laps, I was pretty much running at fourth. And then that last lap, I was just clutching it everywhere I could to save and make it all the way around. But yeah, I knew it would be close. I just didn't think it would be that close on fuel.
We stay up in the Northeast next week. We go over to New Hampshire Speedway. I know it's a track that you like. How do you like your chances next week in New Hampshire?
New Hampshire has always been good to me. So, that should be fun. Looking forward to it, definitely. So hopefully I can get another win there. That'd be awesome.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium here tonight. Before we let you go, anyone want to shout out any thanks you got to give here?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I got to thank all my teammates. I know only one showed up tonight, Chappie. So I got to shout him out big time because he shows up when it counts. Mick over Falcon Graphics are always making great paint schemes. And then, admins for putting this on week in and week out. It's always fun. And obviously you up in the booth, you do a great job each and every week. We're lucky to have you.
Yeah, we saw Chappie running that 52 scheme tonight, letting that truck make its way around the track. So, again, congrats on the third place finish here tonight, Will, and we look forward to seeing how the rest of the season plays out for you.
Hey, thanks.
Have a great night. So that was your third place finisher, Will Witt. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Clint Stone. Clint, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, Yep, there you are. Great job here tonight coming home P2. Didn't have anything for Devin there at the end. We saw the damage on the right side of the truck, or left side of the truck, excuse me. It looks like, did you catch the wall off of 11 at one point, and did that kind of hinder your progress forward?
Yeah, I hit it on, I don't even know what corner, but it was the last corner.
Yep, turn 11.
Yeah, I hit it there. I didn't think I was gonna hit the wall. Just floated up a little bit and smacked it. But yeah, after that, it definitely knocked me back. Um, like half a second a lap or so, and it was killing. I was looking at the wrong stuff, and I pit a lap too early. I had enough to go another lap, but I don't know. Kyle was telling me no, and I was like, no, we're good. And I was already in the pit, so wasn't nothing I could do, and I couldn't run as hard the last segment because it was. I guess technically I had to go a lap farther. So it just kind of killed me, but I don't know. Road course, anytime I'm in the top 5 or so, I'll take it.
Yeah, Will Witt said he was coasting on the last lap there, just trying to save enough fuel. How close were you there to running out there at the end?
When I crossed the line, it sputtered.
Oh,
So I was saving. I knew I had to get an extra lap that last one, so I was saving quite a bit.
for sure. So able to bring it home P2 here tonight. We move on to New Hampshire next week in the trucks. How you like your chances next week at the Magic Mile?
I mean, New Hampshire, it's all right track, but short track, so I mean, might be turned around backwards. So it's not, as long as I'm not doing that or whatnot, I might be all right.
Well, good luck next week at New Hampshire. Before we let you go, Clint, anyone you want to thank? Anyone you shout out here tonight?
Yeah, just you for broadcasting it, and then all the Maze guys and Mark.
Yeah, you saw Mark cheering you on in the chat here tonight. Well, again, congrats on the second place in the podium, and good luck next week. And we look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, appreciate it.
So that was your second place finisher, Clint Stone. Let's bring in your winner tonight. Driver of the 68 McKinleyville Barber machine, Devin Butch. Now, Devin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, Josh.
There it is.
I got you, Josh.
Yep. Sorry. For some reason, I've been having this issue where there's such a delay. But, man, great job tonight. I know you were worried. Not worried, but you were saying that you were going to be the third fastest truck out there tonight, and you came home with the win. Great job with that tonight. Able to save fuel, too. I know Clint Stone and Will Witt said that they were running out. You stretched it that extra lap. And how much fuel did you have in the tank when you came across the stripe there?
I had 1.3 left, actually. I knew it was going to pretty much come down to either splitting it up into 22 laps and 23 laps, or, 22 and 23 or 23 and 22. And I figured if we could go 23 on that first run, we'd be in pretty decent shape. And I know we lost a lot of time to Blake. I don't know what happened to Blake on that pit stop, but I was cutting the engine in 1, cutting it on the entrance of the bus stop, cutting on the entrance of 9. A couple laps I even kept it in 4th, but I was losing a little too much time doing that, so didn't really open it up at all. We were saving all the way till the white, and then it was just about hitting our marks to the end. But it was definitely close. But just being able to manage getting the engine off and back on. I don't have a clutch setup, so it's a little more difficult.
Yeah, for sure. Well, able to get the win at your home track. That's got to feel good. I know you've been wanting to get a win here for a while, so it finally feels good to get it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot better than the Xfinity win here this season. Had a good time racing with Clint there at the end. He was really quick. Would have been really cool if Blake and Clint could have battled that out. I think we were the 3 fastest guys out here, but just love this place. Been to it a bunch of times, and when you're in New York, you don't really get too many marquee NASCAR tracks, so it's pretty cool.
That's for sure. And just so you know, Blake actually sped on pit road, and that's what put him so far behind. But man, it puts you in a position to get the win here tonight. And then we move to one of your other local tracks, if you will, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. How do you like your chances next week in New Hampshire?
I think we have a decent shot. I know last time out there, Steven and Nudie pretty much walked away from us, so we have to figure out whatever we were lacking, what they were doing that we weren't. But it's such a driver's track. You got the eggshell under the gas pedal. You know how that goes there, but it's a fun track. Hopefully we could sweep them both. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome. So again, congratulations on the win here tonight, Devin. I know Bailey Cross congratulated you in the chat. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I just want to shout out Bailey, my new roommate, Aaron. They were watching. Want to shout out the Yankees, game one of the wild card. So that was, or ALCS, DS, whatever it is. That was really cool. Shout out to you guys for broadcasting. I appreciate you doing this, Josh. Staying up with us. This was a longer one than normal for road courses. Who else? McKinleyville Barbershop, Dev Sports Cards, Level Up Subs, New Craft Fine Jewelry and Design, and my mom. She's got her second to last chemo. She's kicking butt. So we'll do that tomorrow. Take care of business just like we did here tonight.
Awesome, man. And how do you like your chances tomorrow night at the Daytona Road Course as we go left and right again tomorrow night in the Xfinity cars?
I don't think we can win the race, but if we end up battling with Will for 12 straight laps, I'd be okay with that. It's a tough road course, so hoping to just come out with the top 5 like we seem to get there when we go there. So
for sure. Well, again, congrats on the win. And we look forward to seeing what goes on next week and tomorrow night, excuse me, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, Josh.
Have a great night.
You too, brother.
So that was your winner here tonight, Devin Butchino getting the win. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night, as we mentioned, going to be taking on the Daytona Road Course in the Xfinity Series. You're not going to want to miss that. Then the Friday night, we've got our Grand National Series with the original Rebels, which are deep into their playoffs, in the Truck Series, starting their second race of the playoffs as well. So a full lineup of racing the next few days. Plus tomorrow, Thursday night, we have the Thunderstruck Super Series, late model series. So lots of racing here on Intensity Broadcast in the next couple nights. Don't forget to tune in. Hit that notification bell so you know anytime we go live. Again, congratulations to Devin Butchino again for the win. Good luck to his mother, Tammy Strong, of course. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weist would say, over